And we are live in Denver, Colorado. It's just saying hi to all you haters, losers, freaks, geeks, general malcontents, trolls, losers. Did I just say losers? Well, I'll say it again. Anyway, just gonna be walking the streets here. See what happens. Now, it's kind of on the outskirts of Denver here, so a lot of people. Hey, guy. Said hello to a dog. It's a nice, bright day. I think I'm gonna actually go to the park. I don't know. I know it's Cinco de Mayo, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's crowded and I don't know. The thing about it is, like, you know, I'm sure they're probably all the same, whether it's in San Francisco or Los Angeles. I don't know if I want to deal with the crowd. Honestly, I'm not really feeling that great anyway. Drinking last night and I don't know. Anyway, this is kind of like a newer development of Denver. I swear I must be Denver's only streamer. So I don't know. We'll see if we can get ourselves some I don't know, it's Saturday, you know, nice day. Great day, actually. This cool thing I like about Denver is that in California, a lot of the areas just gets hot as fuck. Set up my Discord. I don't know if I'm very good at it though. I'm gonna walk across the street actually. I don't know, like I said before in my other streams, it's like some of the drivers are pretty crazy out here, so we'll get hit. Like I said before, I already got ran off the road a couple times while I was driving. And, you know, it's pedestrian, almost got hit a few times. So it seems to be pretty dead actually. Not much going on. I guess everybody's downtown. I don't know. Might do Cinco de Mayo either today or tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I will, but I just don't feel like it. Oh, you know, one thing I haven't thought of is like how to rotate the camera. You know, when I'm talking to people or whatever. I don't know if that's an option. Let me check it out. Lock screen, share stream, mute microphone, hide chat. Okay, here I can do it. You're right. Okay. That's how you do it. Okay. Pretty easy. So we're passing by the library now. Oops, wait. It's kind of like the library here. I don't mind doing this. I don't like filming people because I know that they get some people get all butthurt when you stream them. Just start saying, "Oh, I want to get paid" or some shit like that. So, did I bring my wallet? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. So I think maybe I'll just stream like this for a little. Well, no, actually, this is my beautiful face with crooked teeth. Well, some families down here. Just passing by a shop, a yoga, core power yoga. So for Republic. Too bad I'm too broke to buy anything at this point. I don't know. I'm not very good at being employed, that's for sure. Dealing with people. You know, I'm a writer that can't seem to get published. So, I don't know. Kind of tough, diagnosed with autism earlier this year. 40 years old. I don't know, kind of depressing. I don't want to depress people out there if they want to listen to me. But the facts are facts. So, going back to the shops here, the Berkshire, which is okay. I don't know, it's like a lot of things I'm finding in Colorado, it's like overpriced. The quality isn't there. Even the weed, compared to California, it's just, I don't know. But I left that place anyway because I was sick of it. Lunch special. Getting 2 rolls, $9.99. The Japanese restaurant. Sushi rolls. Not for me. I hate seafood as it is, except it's like, fish. Passing by the local Starbucks. Ooh.
I talked to more people, and it literally is like everybody actually has successful goals. Otherwise,
Yeah, I'm gonna walk down here actually. It's kind of where it's gonna lead to the park. Einstein Road, Brother Bagels. Not a bagel guy. This is my sourdough toast. I don't know. Sometimes I think, shouldn't even moved out of here to Denver, but it's so depressed in California. Didn't know where else to go. I just graduated SF State, and nowhere to go. Homeless, and so I decided, the good thing about here is that it's a lot easier to live in your car. I mean, you don't want to deal with California cops at all. So, passing by some kids right now. Passing by the King Supers. This is it's a pretty good supermarket, but there's like no alcohol at all there though. There's no hard alcohol. The beer is weak as fuck. You can, 3.5. Come on, man. So, they got Budweiser there, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of Budweiser. I'm really happy. I mean, it's okay. I don't hate it. I mean, it's not Coors, which I haven't drinking Coors since like the 90s because shit gives me a headache. So I don't know. I'm probably just gonna walk down to the park and maybe read my story there. King Supers. That's kind of an interesting name. I got a gift card there at the To Succeed, which is supposedly for people with disadvantages, but they let people. It's like more like people with different problems than I do. Here, let me Try to cross the street here. I don't know. I don't know, the outlet for Denver is fucking weird about this city. I could not imagine any of these drivers surviving in San Francisco for one day, or Berkeley even. They fucking hit somebody and get arrested. Serious. So a lot of construction around here. It's like nobody. So they must be downtown, something like that. Because usually there's buttload more people. Damn, if I had money, I could at least go to a bar or something like that, or Starbucks, I guess. But flat broke. So, no, looks like okay. So at the park they got some stuff going on. I don't know. Maybe I should have moved to Los Angeles or some shit like that. I used to think my life was turning out a different way. But okay, so I gotta cross the street again to get to this park. Alright, let me cross over here. Let me go to the crosswalk. Okay, I can. So I ran over. Sorry for all the traffic. Okay, so they got some soccer shit going on here. Ooh, volleyball net. Okay, so they're playing a sport. It's lacrosse. Okay, lacrosse. All right, it's cool. Bike riders. Yeah, it's lacrosse. I don't know what season they usually play. Like, I know baseball is spring and summer. Football is more like autumn and winter for the most part. I guess spring and summer. Well, I don't know. Kind of reminds me when I was young. Going to baseball and soccer. I actually used to play soccer and had an asthma attack and collapsed on the field. And that was the beginning and the end of my illustrious sports career. Let's see, byproducts of having autism, learning spectrum. What can you do? Like lacrosse in Colorado. Oh, no, I got a baseball game going on there. Never mind. Over there. Let's go up here. I'll find somewhere to sit down, but I don't know. It's not a lot. So I don't know, it's got to succeed, that one program for mentally challenged people like myself, I guess, they often go to a technical school for. So I want to start doing more. When I was young, when I was 18, I had aspirations to be a filmmaker, and but I just had a lot of personal stuff going on at the time. My dad was like getting into drugs at the time, and I don't know, just and then kind of like the autism came into play, and I don't know, just never really been able to get along with people that well. But I don't know, I'm thinking of getting back into it, and maybe from my own independent movie after my my own writing. And so I was thinking it'd be really cool, like I could either get some live actors and shoot my story, live using actual actors, or I could use Adobe Acrobat and can do animation. And I could submit it to like a film festival, Sundance or something like that, and see what happens. And I don't know, maybe my life will have some meaning then. Oh, okay, all right, here we go, prime spot. All right, let's go. Is that the only bench? All right, here we go. Let's go in the shade. There we go. All right, this is cool. This will work. But yeah, I always love movies and storytelling. All right. Yep, a little bit of gray there. Shows my age and on the beard. I like that. The only thing I don't like about this tripod I'm using is that it's really like short and I can't extend it. But it works decently though for what it is. It's like $10. So, anyway though, I'm gonna get back into filmmaking and kind of make meaning for my life. And I kind of realize I'm never gonna be the guy who's gonna be like a 9-to-5 dude and with wife and kids at home. I'm not my brother. So, yep, great teeth, huh? Oh well, something else, kind of grew up poor, and in baseball, I was like, this one kid like took a swing at, and it wasn't his fault, but he accidentally like knocked him, like chipped one of my teeth, and that doesn't exactly help either. That's why they like, you got that right there. And the yellow is just age. I'm not a smoker, although I did smoke cigarettes off and on. About like 19. I'm sorry, like 2005, and then periodically, and I quit a lot. But I'm not, I've smoked a cigarette since 2012, and I don't know, I was never like, could never do the thing where it's like you're smoking like 2 packs a day. I can't, like, bleh, clogs your lungs. So anyway, there's a lot of kind of like drama going on the streaming service. I guess that guy Burger Planet, they call him Pizza Time now. So I guess Pizza Time, the Ice Poseidon kicked them out, and Bone Clinks. But he kind of deserved it, though. I mean, it's like for Ice, always. I think Ice was just obviously testing him, to see if he's just a stream leech, and or if he was actually somebody who's a friend, and that's why he kind of had him go buy paper towels, but Burger wouldn't do it, or Pizza Time wouldn't do it. So, I can't fault Ice for doing that. And then what happened to Bone Clinks? It's with the Hampton Brandon thing. It's like and yeah, Hampton Brandon, yeah, eventually kind of crossed the line, but I mean, I don't know, Pizza Time just a creepy douche. I could definitely see him like 5 years in that time frame of getting arrested for like trying to pull a 10-year-old into his van. I can see that happening. So yeah, I mean, Berger, he's just sociopath that just blames other people for his own problems. I mean, like I said, I was actually what pisses me off is that he pretends to have autism. I mean, Poseidon to me is obviously a guy who does. I was diagnosed actually, like I said earlier this year, and just Berger just uses that and just lies, just constantly lies, and just sociopathic behavior, and that right there is the definition of toxicity right there. That toxic behavior. So anyway, though, kind of like, I'm gonna go back to my story. I'm sorry if I'm rambling here. I tend to do that. Like I said, I've just been feeling depressed, and I don't want to go to the Cinco de Mayo thing. It's just crowds, and I might go tomorrow. They still have it on for tomorrow, but it's like maybe not. I gotta get gas up my car, and plus I got an appointment on Monday. I was planning on Monday morning, or I'm sorry, Monday afternoon, to kind of just walk around central, Denver, the central area for a little bit and see what happens before just driving back. So anyway, though, back to my story. Again, kind of like a recap yesterday, we got to know more about both Marie Lace and Susan Dean. I got to know a little bit more about San Francisco as well, too. Kind of summarize, more towards the Daly City. Well, if you're not familiar with San Francisco, kind of south of San Francisco immediately, and they all kind of bleed together, is they have Daly City, I think San Bruno, San Mateo, it's all kind of like south of San Francisco, but they all bleed one into the other, Like, for example, if you're in Berkeley and you go north, you're going to eventually hit like Albany, you're going to hit Richmond, and so forth. So if you're not familiar with the San Francisco Bay Area, that kind of gives you geography. So basically what's happening is that south of San Francisco is that pretty much the government withdrawing was, it was George Dean himself who was trying to create this barrier, but it almost like, because pretty much like the San Francisco Bay Area, the ocean itself, the water, it's like pretty much like, borders, that part there, it's a big circular body of water, and so what happened is that they kind of ruptured the fault line and created this one barrier, and it actually split wide open, this huge chasm, and that's where kind of like this water rushed in. Well, no, I'm sorry, the water wasn't rushing in, but it almost cracked where like the ocean was filtering into this huge chasm that was created through the broken fault line, and so basically it created a barrier between San Jose, for example, and San Francisco, and so they were using that as a natural barrier. And you kind of like describe like the refugee situation going on, like with any war, you're going to have refugees. That's how it is. Going back to ancient times, periods of unrest. So yeah, you're gonna have those things going on. So anyway, though, this is where basically, Susan Dean dropped Marie off, but Marie never told her actual address, but somehow Susan knows about it. So you can already kind of see like the surveillance going on in this of George Dean's government, right? Where it seems to be there's a lot of like, it's kind of implied so far that there's some type of surveillance going on. So anyway, though, this is chapter 8. Chapter 8 is titled A Sacrifice to the Gods. So here we go. Marie hums to herself off-key, bopping her head up and down to the steady beat invading her eardrums from the headphones attached to her laptop. She stretches her lithe frame to form any position on the lumpy mattress that would allow her some comfort. Finding at least some laying on her stomach, she stares in interest at a 3D image spring from the screen. These show multimedia clips of photogenic celebrity interviewers interviewing other good-looking celebrities. Lights flash against tuxedos and decadent dresses, exposing toned and pampered flesh walking amidst adoring crowds and red carpets. Old clip, so boring. But beggars couldn't be choosers. It seemed forever to Marie since she heard any juicy gossip from any medium, and this was one of her guilty pleasures. San Diego had been occupied at the same time as San Francisco, and being so close to Los Angeles, she wondered how that would affect her vacuous hobby. Vacuous hobby. It was a testament to the power of social gossip. Hollywood was still churning out any form of visual and audio stimulation for the masses, despite the country turning into a war zone. More than ever, people need some sort of distraction to keep them from facing reality. As such, both ruling governments allowed the mass distribution of all forms, excepting, of course, the usual propaganda. Weeks had gone by since Marie had been working for Susan unofficially as file clerk. Susan waved away her questions regarding legal paperwork with a smile, as this is all top secret information she was expected to store into their database. True to her word, Susan was only around the first day long enough to usher her to the 4th level of the Citadel. Humongous in length and width, the entire floor area was covered in a maze of cardboard boxes filled to the brim with aging documents. A small pathway wide enough for 2 people splits the boxes enough to reveal a nondescript desk supporting the hardware. You want all these scanned and filed? Marie questions. Her eyes bulged at the amount of work needed to be done. Hearing the trepidation in Marie's voice, Susan patted her on the shoulder and nodded to a desk where a few small boxes snuggle against the antique frame. Nah, forget all that shit. Susan waves her concern away. That's mainly miscellaneous paperwork having to do with order forms for research equipment and budgeting. Not only boring as fuck, but not what I need. Follow me over here. When she reached the middle of the room, Susan plopped down on a rolling office chair and pointed to a similar one for Marie, who sat down with her usual grace. Let me just set you up. Hold on. Watching those hands dance across the keyboard, Marie's attention turned to the nearest box. Curiosity gripping her, Marie slowly lifted the cover off and looked through. Paper at one time white as snow was now a crusty yellow texture with proper cursive handwriting. She frowns, then checks the date, which reads April 1st, 1954. A loud whistling tune from Susan intertwines with a soft tapping from the keyboard. Ignoring the distraction, Marie flipped through the clip stack until reaching a visual. She must have been staring for a while, as whistling and click-clack typing stopped. What is it? What did you find? Susan's voice falters with nervous expectation. The tone would have surprised Marie if her attention wasn't already so keen on the grainy black and white photograph. I don't know, Marie confessed. It's something with the face of a dog, or maybe even a horse. Specimen model number 51 is typed at the top of the picture with some notes scribbled in bad handwriting at the bottom. Where did it come from? What is it? Susan shook her head in irritation. Everything we have is vague at best. All the reports and files. It's almost like the investigation stopped at a certain point. Maybe transferred somewhere else. All we really have are the few pictures and handwritten accounts, mostly of other research-based paperwork. So it's real? Read everything and decide for yourself. You have 2 eyes and a brain. Use them, love. Marie glances down at the paperwork again. So just scan all this and that's it? That's it mainly. If you want to snoop, go ahead. I don't give a shit. I just need it processed. The rest we're tossing. Oh, believe me, I'm not about that. Marie spread her hands with nervous laughter. Susan gave her an unusual stare before returning to the computer. Finishing up, she spent the next few minutes explaining how everything worked as far as software was concerned. Marie had never been the most adept with any sort of tech, but the walkthrough was simple enough. A password to log in and out, so how to operate the system, what drive to save the documents to, and how to shut down the unit before Susan kissed her on the cheek and left. The rest of the day was spent acclimating herself to the work regimen. She was only scheduled for about 4 hours a day total, so the time sped by like a short nap. Days turned to weeks as the stack grew smaller and smaller along with the boxes holding the valuable parchment. Marie was thankful her shift was only part-time, as the daily tasks became monotonous. Every once in a while, an odd photo or two would pop up. Monstrosities almost too fantastical to be real. Rats near the size of cats, shed of all fur, were highlighted in full color. Their open mouths revealed typical double scissor front teeth all members of the rodent family inherited. Pockets of cancerous growth lined the skin, sometimes breaking out in shapes familiar to the eye. The structural beginning might be ears, lips, and fingers could barely be made out. So I'm getting some phlegm. More pictures of mutated bodies and appendages flirt with through her hands. These all came and went. Only the first one of the alien-like creature played on her thoughts the most, despite the dark gray textures. But her mind would wander during these hours, cheeks reddening. She would daydream at the thought of Susan striking her hard with a huge paddle over and over in a sort of looping obsessive-compulsive. Even when she wasn't working or cradling Adam close to her, those memories of her being spit on and slapped always bring up the distress of longing. The stress of longing. Okay, so, hey Marie, baby. Joe's shout echoes all the way from the living room and drags her thoughts back to the present. She cocks her head to the side for a moment, then her hand lunges out and turns the volume up. Come on, babe, me and the kiddo want to hang out. It's family time. Marie licks her lips and folds the laptop away before shaking the headphones off. Her body thanks her as she rises from the bed, even if her mind screams at her to lay back down. She walks with lethargic acceptance through the hallway. A loud noise sounding like bones cracking near Joe mixes with noise booming from their panoramic television. A literal viewpoint of every angle of what is being broadcast, shooting up in a vertical display of lights and colors. The ending of a commercial blips into the image of George Dean. With a smile finally touching his eyes, he's much more poised and distinguished from the awkward pauses of his last broadcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your standing temporary leader of the greater San Francisco area. When she reaches the couch, she finds Joe's dexterously cracking walnuts with a small device. Their son bounces on his large palm. Adam's pupils shine with his playful giggle. Come on, honey, it's about to start. Joe pats the cushion next to her. At least Dean had toned down the viciousness of his rants. First, I want to mention that as of tomorrow night, in a celebration of our continued success with the Revolution for Liberty, we will be setting off massive display of fireworks around 10 p.m. I can assure you it will be a magnificent display of entertainment. Hear that, honey? Sounds like fun. Joe flips an easy smile at her. Our position is quite well entrenched, and our influence on the rest of America is growing. Violent sequences of other insurgencies battling the federal government flash across her eyes. Dean's voice provides an eerily soothing tone narrating the action. Different points of view assault them from all corners. An Abraham tank explodes like a gargantuan firecracker, with a long flame shooting to the ceiling. My words are not just proof, but what you see from brave patriots all over the country back is. They are trying desperately to convince their local municipalities to join our side, our cause. The general cuts back into focus. The remaining remnants of the past regime will join us sooner or later. The brave men and women fighting for an America that was and will be whole again. But it will take a blood sacrifice that will water the tree of liberty that it might grow once more. Already our foreign allies with the protection of Adam's Pacific Fleet are almost at our ports in deliverance of not only fresh supplies of food, gasoline, and medicine, but are also a deliverance of hope. A hope that your burden will soon be lifted and will be free again to pursue your right to life, liberty, and property. Leaning forward, his hopeful countenance melts into a much more brooding profile. Marie prowls the empty seat. As you know, the crimes of former Senator Bill Hope have already been only too well known to most. He was involved in the half-baked crooked contracts for the benefit of his wife, president of Leeway Construction Company. So-called environmental laws were passed that condemned buildings in order to kick out long-term tenants. Those bids, of course, went to her. He was also co-conspirator for the murder of Assemblyman Sam Cross when these shady dealings went public. Thus, this I've already spoken of, but there's more. Sorry, getting really phlegmy here. The general pauses for a long moment in tense preparation. The worst charges were not only his lack of pursuing justice against underage trafficking, but his direct involvement in which he was caught red-handed with children as young as 5 years old, were repeatedly molested, and other acts of depravity that I will not name, but you can only imagine. These charges, of which once again I've spoken of in the past months, have been validated with a quick and speedy trial. What trial? Marie turns her question on Joe, who waves her away with annoyance. George Dean readjusts his posture. This is why not only is he to be executed, but in a fashion that would be fitting to our progress as a whole. The probe to Venus that was originally scheduled for launch with the most advanced of sensory cargo still went ahead
but also now holds the senator himself. The fool was caught trying to flee to the District of Columbia, where his plans were intercepted near Dallas, and he was forced down upon orders of our brothers and sisters in arms by fellow patriots Governor of Texas, Henry Wallace. Cross is to be executed in roughly 10 minutes, with enough leeway for radio signals to travel that long of a distance. I know there are many who object to this. I even had my own reservations, but for some crime so great as to spit on the very moral fabric of America, he pauses for dramatic effect. There must be a just punishment. At least he can take solace in his being the first man ever to set forth on such a distant planet. That is more than he deserves. Thank you, fellow patriots. God bless and have a good night. The general fades from view. See, there you go, Joe puts in his 2 cents. He flicks a small piece of shell into the bowl he cradles in his lap. First guy ever implanted Venus. I like that. Blocks and random pixels cover part of the light spectrum in Picasso-like block form. Eventually, the light signals coagulate to form the shape of a man bolted down to a seat surrounded by a small cockpit. Countless electronics poke out from the bulky, snow-colored protective lining the interior. If the senator knew his fate, he kept his feelings ambiguous, with closed eyes and frozen posture. Like a coma patient, large bulbous tubes are stuffed through his slack mouth. His arms and legs bolted down prevent any movement. I don't understand, Marie blurts out. Confusion hits her brow. What's happening to him? How will he die? Joe shakes his head. He pops more nuts into his mouth before he readjusts Adam. As he chews, the food mumbles his voice. Well, if the pressure doesn't kill him first, the heat will. It gets damn near 100,000 Fahrenheit on the surface. Crispy bacon. On cue, the visual pixelates. The vegetable shakes with violence at different intervals. Marie springs off from the couch. Let's take off, Joe. We've got enough money to treat ourselves for a little something. It's so boring in here. All we do is watch TV and go to bed. What about Mark and Stacy? We haven't seen them in forever. No, they're struggling the same as we are, barely making ends meet. He has his pride, and I don't want them getting all jealous over what little we have. The image shakes for several minutes until, with a loud bang, the senator's body rocks with emotion, then settles. Marie grabs Joe's arm and tugs. Let's go, hon, please. I'll call Jen. A board game. Let's do a board game. Anything. He shoots her a frown. The senator's eyes open, and a strange gurgling sound sputters from his gape maw. His body trembles and spasms uncontrollably. I can't do this, Marie announces with unusual finality. Turning around, she heads for the front door. Before she can place her hand on the knob, a high-pitched scream booms from behind. Marie shudders and turns around to watch in horror as the clean atmosphere of the vessel warps and melts before her eyes. Tendrils of smoke rise from blistered skin, peeling and cracking. Eyes pop from their deformed sockets as the cranium explodes. His body twists and shrinks into a roasted pile of human flesh. Adam shrieks in distress. And you let our son watch this? What the fuck is wrong with you? He turns to her with exasperation. He stabs a large finger at her for emphasis. Look, doll, I have pity. Believe me, babe. But what this pile of dog shit has done, and with kids? No, I draw the line at that. He gave up his right to be called human a long time ago. He deserves all that more. Marie retorts with a glare, then storms outside. As she slams the door, the frame shakes with her rage. She breathes in and exhales, leaning against the door. Her shoulders sag with every passing breath. The surprise ringtone interrupts her ambience. She fumbles in her front pocket, pulls out her phone, and stares at the number. Hello? Love, 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 it's my love, a familiar voice squeaks to the other side. Marie turns her head around for anyone who might be eavesdropping, then hurries from the porch. Why are you calling me at home? How do you get this number? She hisses into the phone. Tendons strain her neck, her tiny hands cup around the speaker end. I'm here with Joe. Yes, Susan yawns. Watching an execution, no doubt. What a dreadful waste of resources. If Father was at all competent anyway, our side would already be strolling in D.C. like the Bolshevik in St. Petersburg. Her words slowed down in a long slur. Have you been drinking? What, me? Of course. How the fuck else am I supposed to cope day to day with the inane bureaucratic nitwits under my tutelage, huh? Words shout on the other end she can barely make out. Sorry about that. I'm trying to coordinate a gangbang of 10 people. Fuck, might as well plan for a fucking wedding. A long pause flows long enough for Marie to glance up at the night sky. She catches a pink color in the distance. What is that? I want you. I want you for another shoot, Susan coos. What kind? Another long stretch of silence. A strange sound from the sky intermingles with dark flashes of the same pink color, almost a faint tubular sound. Marie stares up in awe. I know, I've had rolls against this before, and it's not loud, and a lot more risque. A loud silence seems to stretch as long as the previous. Blood play. Blood play? Blood play. I have a very something special, something mapped out for you. A very special one paying homage to our creators, our gods. No, I can't do that. Oh, shut up. Susan tosses back her denial with drunken aggression. You don't know what you want half the time, do you? I know what you want. Nay, what you need, love. Aware of her teeth locked onto her bottom lip, Marie lets go. I don't know, it just sounds so odd. I've never done anything like that before, and you never will again. We're transcending sex and pleasure into art, real art. Don't you know that? The pink light flashes through the sky. What time? Marie approves. That's the spirit, or ticket, whatever. It's at noon tomorrow. Our greatest work ever, love. Our greatest. The final cutoff ends with a strange giggle. The low humming from the sky grows with a crescendo as the pink light spills through the atmosphere. A bright cloud fills it above like a drop of water. Marie steps back. A fluctuation of emotions pour through her. I'll kill Joe. Always so controlling. Never letting me be by myself. He should be shamed. I'll destroy Susan. They're both trying to control me. Me, no. I'll love them both. I owe them so much. I'll smother at them. All three of us can live happily ever after. Marie! Joe roars from behind. As she spins around, she gathers from his confused expression he's as much in the dark over what he caught the last of as she is. Eyes surely as large as hers match the ripple of his lips hanging open. The loud humming and bright pink lights fade from their view in sound rage. Must be hallucinating. She shakes off his perplexed look, then lowers his eyes to match hers with parallel wonder. Shortly after, they close the night off with a passion surprisingly Marie. As much as she loved him, Joe was never the most creative of partners. Tonight, his kisses were as deep and everywhere as his body movements and penetration. Afterwards, covered in mutual sweat, did she entertain the notion his newfound passion might have something to do with this strange phenomena. And that, my friends, is the end of chapter 8. And that's where I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave chapter 9 for tomorrow, if I do stream tomorrow. But just kind of summarize, though, so we see at the beginning of the chapter is that Marie has already now working for Susan, and we're seeing kind of just exactly what that is about, Susan, it seems, is kind of like, not just giving her a job, but kind of like giving her information, very classified information, if you think about it. I know there are a lot of illusions if you especially if all you conspiracy theorists out there, the Area 51, Roswell, I believe it was April 1945, where the aliens were alleged to have come down. So we're seeing kind of allusions to those type of conspiracies and theories, which I think is very interesting. So it does, if you keep, if you want to predict what's going to happen, there's, some foreshadowing, something's going to happen with that. We also see kind of like, the country as well too, though, as far as capital punishment, politics, and also it's kind of interesting, I to be honest, I'm currently writing a project about Venus, about kind of like the colonization of Venus, just because so many people already wrote about Mars. I mean, Mars is kind of like old hat by now, and there's so many books, movies, The Martian, of course. It just seems really tired at this point. Where else can you go with Mars that hasn't been already explored, right? So yeah, but basically though, in this instead of colonizing Venus, it's actually George Jean is actually sending this guy to his own death. So I thought that was just kind of something that was interesting, story-wise. I think I'm gonna walk back. I think it's, I'm gonna walk back. So I was thinking of just smoking a joint or something like that, but too many people around and kids and stuff. But yeah, anyway, though, it's so I just thought it was kind of something interesting, it's not just capital punishment, but they're purposely executing someone in a very expensive and kind of dramatic fashion. So, obviously, if you know anything about Venus, it has a very pressurized atmosphere made of carbon dioxide, and the temperature gets up because of runaway greenhouse effect. Temperatures can reach 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit on the surface of Venus. So, like, Joe was telling his girlfriend there, Marie Lace, literally, if the heat doesn't kill you, the pressure will. But Susan Dean, his daughter, said, that's a very, waste of resources, though. I mean, you're basically fitting out this rocket and going all the way to Venus, keeping a guy alive just to kill him. That's a very expensive prospect, right? So that's kind of another interesting dynamic of George Dean's government, right? Just kind of find these creative ways to execute people for, vile crimes. But anyway, that's, summarizing chapter 8. Get no viewers as usual, but I have 2 followers though, so that's cool. I might just start streaming and, it's cool. I don't know. We'll see how long I last on Twitch. Like I said, if worst comes to worst, I'll just go stream from YouTube streamer. Yeah, but this is Denver. So you got pine trees here. And the cool thing about it kind of reminds me of kind of the pine trees in California a little bit. So it's kind of like a park here. Some kids playing soccer. Oh, it looks like someone's playing volleyball. Okay. It's cool. Kind of interesting to see so many people at the park. Anyway, like I said, it's I don't know, I doubt I'm going to go to the Cinco de Mayo thing today. I don't know. Never played lacrosse. Looks like fun. Oops. It's a beautiful day, though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll probably just go to Cinco de Mayo tomorrow or whatever. It's just, I just hate dealing with crowds and crowded parking. I mean, Denver is not nearly as bad as San Francisco, but it gets crowded, and it's like, people drive crazy. It's kind of like LA in that respect, man. Just crazy drivers, and you gotta really watch out. I mean, that's something I think is like worse than California traffic. I mean, as far as like LA and San Francisco are concerned, nothing beats that. Nothing is worse. No. Looks like they were playing volleyball, I guess. So I'll just walk back. I don't know. I'm just my brother though. He's in California. He's got his own life and family and shit. I don't know. But I'm finding the same isolation here, though. It's. I don't know. I just got fed up with the fucking social justice warriors in California. Across the street.
Here we are at Stapleton Apartments. Yeah, a lot of these apartments complexes here. Yeah, it's weird. I think I am honestly the Denver's only IRL streamer. I think. Like I said, though, it's weird though. It's like Los Angeles has so many people, streamers, compared really to anywhere else. So I gotta tighten this up. But yeah, just it has like I said, I kind of theorized that Los Angeles has great weather, pretty much year round. So like I said, it's you're not gonna get like the content you would if you say we're like in Chicago during the winter. Although I don't know, it's kind of funny. It's like well, I don't know. Even San Francisco though, the Bay Area, it does rain. I mean, the weather is not perfect. It is far from perfect in the Bay Area. You get the wind, the rain, the fog. It's not exactly weather where you want to be outside, or you want to be in a bar or a club. Okay, so I'm going to try to run across the street here and not get ran over. Okay. Nice. Okay. I think I'll just take the same way back. Going past this King Supers again. It was good to get out though. I'm glad I did the stream. I was thinking about not doing it, but I just don't want to go too long without doing streams. I have like 2 followers, so but I don't. Another thing thinking about too though is like, how did Ice Poseidon get so popular? I mean, probably the zaniest of like some guy like Hampton Brandon, I think probably, and they kind of like just took off for a life of its own. But I don't know. My content isn't to create drama just for content. It's like mine is like I try to, I'm not a published writer, so I'm not an author, right? I'm just a writer, not an author. Haven't been published. Well, I have on the Culture Trip website, but I didn't get paid for that, so it's like I don't really think that counts. But yeah, I'm just here to read my stories that I wrote that the publishers don't want to read. Or like you said, my last story I wrote was the secret recipes of the culinary girls, and I was really dismayed that I got rejected, and so I really thought it had potential, but I guess somebody else thought so. Even more soul crushing was the beta reader. Sent it over to her. She said it was boring. She can get through it. She's like, okay, whatever. So I will bring my stories to the public. For now. I mean, I'm still going to try to get published. It's one science fiction story, like I said, I'm writing, but I don't know. So far, man, I'm not getting no success. What can you do? Right? What can you do? I don't know. I don't want to say like I felt like my creative writing program didn't get me anywhere, but it really didn't. So makes me wonder if I should have gotten an SSD in the first place. Going by the Starbucks. For balding a little bit. It's not bad though, for 40. Kind of crazy. I met with one guy in high school who was actually balding at like when he was like not even 18. He was already balding. So I just figure the best way to do start balding, just shave your head and work out. Best thing you can do. It's Berkshire. What's going on there? Not much. It's a lazy Saturday. All right. It's kind of dead. Zucchini noodles. It's just a very pleasant day. Passing by dentistry. Can't afford that. Sucks being poor. Core power yoga. Simplest. Apparel. And curves for more BBWs. Yeah. An apartment complex over there that this recently installed. That's crazy. I didn't, when I first moved here, I didn't realize how crowded Denver got. Yeah, I guess it's blowing up. People complaining about it, but I don't want to get into politics just because it just brings drama and. Thing about politics, unless you have power to control the police and military, you can protest all day long, nothing's going to change. Maybe one of these days I will get into politics, talk about it more, because there is a lot to address in the state of the country. My own philosophy, my philosophies of life, and economics, my personal beliefs on everything from gun control to smoking and 420, narcotics, whatever. I'll talk about it all. I don't care. Race, I'll talk about it. I don't give a shit. Gender, homosexuality, bisexuality, transgender. Fuck it. I'll talk about it all, but it's just not right now though, because everybody else, I don't know. It's just something I don't want to get into now. But eventually, when I run out of stories to tell, I think, for content's sake, I will eventually go on. Oh, hello. Hi there. Brook man. Hello. Yeah, well, you're, so too bad you actually got towards the end of my stream. I just read my stories, so you can check out my past broadcasts. I did. I said hello. Can you hear me, or... can you hear me, or is it muted? Hold on. Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah, hello. Hello. Can you hear me, or... I hope I haven't been doing this whole stream and nobody can hear me. Because, yeah, it shouldn't be muted. Anyway, I'm in Denver, on the outskirts. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check out the stream. I hate to see the stream is gonna where because it's done before with streamers where they will mute themselves and they don't even realize it that they're muting themselves, but I don't think I really have a problem though. Yeah, like I said earlier in the stream, I don't want to Cinco de Mayo and shit. I don't know, it's just too crowded. I'm about to turn the stream off shortly. I don't speak Spanish. I took French in high school. Por favor, I don't know. So I'm in outskirts, not in Denver. It's the central Denver. That's where all this stuff's going on, whatever. But I don't know. I don't want to. I have to gas up my car, and you know, I don't want to go through that bullshit. So, but I'm gonna try to go there tomorrow, though. I think I'm gonna try to go to Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. Definitely, I'm gonna go to downtown Denver on Monday. Well, I have to. I have an appointment on Monday, so I have to be in Denver for the afternoon, and I'll show more. That'll be more exciting. But I'll walk across the street here. That's the thing I said before, is that Denver drivers are pretty crazy, man. Like I said, man, if they, you know, you drive like that in Berkeley, man, you're gonna run someone over. You drive that crazy, get into an accident. You don't hear me? What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna fuck. Okay, hold on. Oh shit. Okay, so I'm gonna have to end the stream here. All right, sorry, I'm gonna have to end it. Find out what's going on here.